Drag Race 15th season will be cherished forever for highlighting the trans community and a fabulous clap back to the rising tide of anti-drag and anti-LGBTQ+ legislation sweeping the U.S. In the season finale, RuPaul announced Sasha Colby. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Sorry for spoiling it. You should have watched it by now, all right? Yeah. Former Miss Continental and trans goddess as America's next drag superstar. Miss Colby's acceptance speech that screamed trans rights won many hearts. Ooh. She dedicated the award to every trans person in the past, present, and future. The message was clear. Quote, "We are not going anywhere," end quote. Question 4, with a Bacardi shot, I'd swallow that. I love that RuPaul's Drag Race finale got all political for LGBTQ+ rights.
Yeah. Yes. If you were going to tune in and enjoy the jokes and the entertainment and all that, you cannot tune out when it's time to vote.
To get serious.
Because these contestants, they bring their stories out through the show, and it really does kind of bring you over to their side and warm up. But this was different because this was RuPaul doing it. This was the show doing it, where really one of the main focuses of the show was to donate to the ACLU and have that right up on the screen. I thought it was freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now we can talk about Anitra's performances and some other things like that later, but I just wanted to put that out there.
So Jinx, did you see Jinx? Oh my gosh, it was incredible.
Come on, Mama. Come on, Mama.
To see her. She's coming to Coral Springs next month. I'm gonna watch. Get your tickets.
Remember, we claimed this. We all at this table last week said that we knew this was gonna happen. So what I loved about this is a lot of our trans siblings, when they perform, they get hated on because they're not the aesthetic of the guy. So when our trans siblings are out performing, often in drag at many different places, venues, they don't get booked because they don't want that.
Well, RuPaul initially didn't allow trans contestants, right?
And so look at where we've come now. And so I have seen several of my siblings, and you all know the work that I do, and I have spoke up for our siblings that I won't go to a place if you don't book a trans woman, because it's not they deserve the right to make their money. They deserve the right to entertain. They deserve the right to show their art. And what Sasha has shown the world is that our siblings are just as amazing, qualified to perform, dazzling and amazing.
GODDESS.
And recognize their body is beautiful. Absolutely. Their bodies are beautiful. And they're just like everyone else. And so all of that performance, to me, shouted it from the mainstream. Like this awesome.
John, did you see it?
Oh.
Get off of this.
Y'all just spoiled it for me.
Were you rooting for anybody in particular, though?
Yeah. I mean, I am a...
You wanted mistress. You wanted
mistress.
You wanted Esthetes, but she's not.
So I'm a fan of the House of Colby, so, super down. I definitely have, like, some sort of affinity with mistress, like, her cunty, like, dark, mistressy shit is my vibe. But I just feel so proud, about Sasha. Like, you just can't go wrong. There's no better representation than Sasha Colby. So absolutely, I'm proud of it.
Package.
Exactly.
When RuPaul, right, herself says, you are a badass queen. You are what people want to see.
Yes.
I mean, and she said that often about Colby.
She did.
Colby was incredible. Our own South Florida queen, Malaysia, won Miss Congeniality. And I personally, and I love her, and I've interviewed her, and she's a lot of fun. I would have given that to Mistress. Like, I would have
just for the controversy of it?
Well, because, I mean, hey, you want to call her cunty, however you want to call her, but she's the only one that really, like, threw it at everybody.
She put on a show.
She threw it. She was everybody's friend and foe all at the same time. That's why
nobody really hates her. Nobody really hates her, and she ate everyone all season long. And that's what makes you a cool person, man. Because I know how to take it and I know how to give it. If
yes,
you're gonna
you do. I've heard.
You know what I'm talking about? It ain't called verse for nothing, okay? But I feel like that says a lot about the character of a person. I feel like she's gonna be really successful beyond this show.
And unfortunately, this has become a political issue. So I'm really happy that they use the platform to be able to address it, because there's so many people that, from gay, straight, bi, whatever in between, that have been to a drag show. The middle America that loves Drag Race, that watches Drag Race, I'm sure they've gone to their local, city to be able to see a drag show. Everyone that goes to Lips and to Palace and, all these bachelorette parties, they've all gone to drag shows. And this is the time that we need their support to stand up for our drag queen entertainers, because they're under attack. Like, our Florida governor is literally attacking drag queens, and now they're in danger.
Yeah.
You know,
and if you go to any of these events at our house at Lips, it is predominantly straight white people.
Right.
Okay, that are
you
there.
know?
It's,
so it's good that they use this platform to address this issue, because they may or may not know what's happening in the state of Florida. You know, so now it's, you know, it was shown around the world. You know, people are aware that it's an issue now.
Well, I think with Sasha Colby, right? So as somebody who has been like, I mean, I'm always a fan of trans and queer and, you know, the entire community. I think for me, that I don't know if it happened to y'all, but there's something different about Sasha Colby. When she came on the screen, like all the other queens that have been trans in the past have had these like, okay, I'm trans. You know, like these kind of moments where they're coming to terms with themselves, and like it's a moment on the show about how they're, you know, they didn't know before and they weren't sure how anybody was going to be accepted. Sasha Colby came on as the most confident person. When she came on, and after the first couple of challenges, I feel like everybody at home was like, there's no way that she doesn't deserve to win the show. And I feel like she has been, at least for me, the first trans person that was the most empowering. Like, I got this, I am here, and I'm going to win this.
She didn't even do a lip sync challenge.
Yeah, but
she didn't even do a lip sync challenge.
But there's a lot to that, right? Like, she came with a name.
It took a long time.
And she had a daughter, which, by the way, where's my camera? We're having sex, okay? We're having a threesome because Carrie Colby lives for me and Chris, and I live for her so much. I promise you that if she watches this show, I love you, Mama. We coming to LA and we're gonna have some fun.
Oh my God!
But
I want to film.
But Sasha, the thing about Sasha, Sasha came with a name. She came with a daughter who told her everything she needed to know about coming into this show. So she came prepared, and she's won a ton of other events.
Continental, Miss I mean, come on.
To your point, Jonathan, I think it's very important to say, though, again, that we're back to the platform is that her journey, she had to go through a whole bunch of knocks, bumps, and bruises to get to where she is.
Yeah.
And this platform makes people realize that our trans siblings are beautiful, because what I often laugh about, and I have this conversation with people often, when I see you go to Vegas, you like the showgirls? Yeah. I bet you at least 50% were trans women. And they get so amazed. And I'm like, so you, instead of hating on your neighbor who is that woman, recognize they're beautiful who they are. And that was what this platform gave us. And so for her, I think for Sasha to be so empowering, it goes to that journey. Because Peppermint, you know, you listen to Peppermint's story, you listen to some of the others, once they realize, because again, if the moment you come on as a woman and try to get a booking, you may not get that booking because the mainstream doesn't want that aesthetic. But so those people had to fight who they were in order to get that job. Yeah. And so those moments that you saw where they're now coming to that realization are also powerful too, because sometimes it's hard. We often run from who we are. But the moment that you can embrace it is amazing. And Sasha, I bet you had that moment early on in life and say, you know what, I'm not gonna let nothing break me down. And what she gave us on TV was empowering, regardless of who you may look like and what you may look like, is that I can survive and I can beat the odds. And I can wear my titties on a freaking stage.
Yeah. I think what it is for me is that,
empowering and I think kind. And so often we look at queens and their strength to come from bitchiness or cattiness,
or pushing others down.
And really, that is just kind of one way to do it. Did y'all see when she came out in this season in like her boy drag for the musical?
Yes.
I was floored
and
that was
great. And she was amazing.
Because every time I look at Sasha, I'm like, I can't even imagine as a boy. And then she came out with that. I was like, oh my goodness. She was. The vulnerability to do that too, to go through all that gender dysphoria, all that surgery, all that therapy, and then to do that, to be able to put that on,
couldn't be an easy thing. But she saw that crown and she wanted to make it happen, and she deserves it.
She said, "I'll take the boy part."
We love you. All right, well.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.